Hello and welcome back. I'm Jim, the author of the 2% Buyer Advantage. I've been talking recently, just a couple of videos on, what do you do when you start? What's the first step when you buy real estate? And then we moved on to financing a little bit. But I'm going to take a step back here and talk to you about creating wealth in real estate. How do you, as a first-time buyer, or it doesn't matter, if you don't own a home, this is how you can create wealth in real estate. If you own a home, anything you purchase is considered investment property. You own a home, you want to buy another home, to rent, it's an investment property. You want to buy a duplex, it's an investment property. Investment property loans are not government backed. So you're going to have to put 25-30% down. So if you're looking at a $400,000 for a multifamily and you own a single family, you're coming up with $100,000. Not in the ballpark for a lot of people. So how do you create passive income and wealth in real estate? The answer is you don't buy a single family for your first home. Buy yourself a multifamily. I call it creating, you're choosing actually wealth over comfort. Most people are going to choose comfort over wealth because they want that warm and fuzzy white picket fence subdivision thing. That's all good. I get it. This is not for everybody. But if you can do it and make this sacrifice, it's a way for you to create. Within 5 years, you're going to create almost $200,000 in wealth if the real estate market doesn't crash, right? And that's, no matter what you do if the real estate crashes, it's not good. So you got to find the duplex, I would say, because a 3-unit and a 4-unit most likely are going to be in downtown locations, not the best places you're going to want to hang out. If you're single, that would probably be the best way to go. But if you got a family, wife, so forth, husband, a duplex makes it much easier because it's in a better area of town. You can usually find a duplex in a residential area of town versus a 3-unit and 4-unit. Another answer, to get your duplex and your single family at the same time right off the bat, is to buy a home with an accessory dwelling unit. Some states have legalized any home can have an accessory dwelling unit, just one of them, but they can have an apartment. Now, I wouldn't advise buying homes with apartments in the basement. It just doesn't add a lot of value. If they have a really nice garage or a loft type thing, then the apartment's nice and it's creating income, that's the way to go. You're doing it all at once. Right off the bat, find one of those. It's a great way to go. It gives you both, the best of both worlds. You get your single family home, you got somebody living over your garage. You send them out by your grocery store or whatever it is. So that works out. That's, if you can find that, that's perfect. If not, the duplex thing. You find something in a nice location. You're paying the same amount that you would pay for a single family, for example. But you have somebody on the other side paying you $2,000 a month. Let's say your mortgage payment with taxes is $3,000. You're only paying $1,000 a month to live in that home. If you would have bought a multifamily home, you'd be paying $3,000 a month if it was the same price. So this has saved you $2,000 a month. You got to be there for 2 years. That's $48,000 in savings right off the bat. So after 2 years, you've met your requirement. What's next? Well, let's go find a single family, because you can't have 2 FHA loans at once. You can only have one, and that's it. But you can have an FHA loan, and a conventional loan, right? So you do a 3% down conventional, probably on your single family, or the duplex. It depends on condition, because your conventional loans are more lenient on condition of the property versus FHA loans are more stringent. Either way, there's a way to buy this single family. Now there's a way to get this done before the 2 years, so you don't have to make a whole 2-year sacrifice, and that's to live there for a little bit. Make an application with your mortgage person for another FHA loan. And in that application will be a request for an exception or an exemption. Ready? You want another FHA loan because the reason that they will accept it is you're moving far away, like at least 50 miles. They'll grant you another FHA loan. You can do it. You can have 2. But if you're not moving 50 miles away, what do? Well, no one's going to tell you this, but make it up, right? Oh, we're just outgrowing this apartment, or, I don't feel safe letting my kids out. I just don't. It's just too rough around here. We're just not comfortable. Right? Most of the time, FHA will grant that exception. So now you can go get another FHA loan if you wish. If they grant it, if they don't, you can use conventional. Just refinance the multifamily or use it on the single family. So now you're out looking at multifamily homes, single family homes. You're going to have two people living in the duplex now, right? Paying you $2,000 a month. Your mortgage payment being $3,000. So you've just made $1,000 a month every month, and that money will go towards helping you pay your payment on your single family as passive income. Another cool thing about this is mortgage companies, when you make that application for your single family home, will take the gross rents, which is $4,000 or $48,000 a year, and they'll use 80% of that, right? So, that's $30-something thousand is going to go on top of your income, which after the mortgage payment and so forth will net out to $1,000 that you were making. But $1,000 added to your net income every month divided by 6 is going to get you another $140-something thousand in a mortgage to buy your single family. So now you're qualifying out for a nicer single family home. You're retaining your multifamily as passive income, which gives you $1,000 a month toward your single family home. The IRS rules say you will get a tax exemption of $500,000 if you're married, $250,000 if you're single, towards any property that you sell as long as you've lived in it for 2 of the last 5 years. So if you live in this duplex for 2 years, get a single family, keep that duplex for 3 years with and the single family, but within 5 years, you're going to put this on the market. You got 2 choices: put it on the market the way that it is, the appreciation will make you some money, or hire an engineer, hire an attorney. The attorney will draw up bylaws and condo docs. The engineers come in and they have a survey done. They mark off where the house is on the lot. And they create limited common areas, which are areas that only one tenant or one owner of a condo can use. The other side can't cross over that. That's theirs. It's a limited common area. You own it together, but only the one person can use it. Common areas would be things that you share, and that would be the driveway. Right? That's pretty much it. If it's a town water and sewer, it's a duplex. They're probably going to have separate feeds anyway. You're not going to find a duplex most of the time with septic and well. If you do, then they'll have to draw up the agreement on the well for maintenance and so forth. And there'll be a road maintenance, driveway maintenance agreement also, and condo docs and how things are paid for. But essentially, a duplex can be divided into 2 condos and treated as almost single-family homes. Divide that lot in half. Only one side can't cross to the other. So no one's, playing in each other's backyard. You put a fence down the middle, separate. You're going to make another $100,000 selling that over the just selling it as a duplex. Right? So now you've made $48,000 in your first 2 years. You've got $1,000 a month in your last 3 years income from the duplex. So that's 36 and 48. What's that? 84,000. So you just made $84,000 in 5 years in income from your tenants. Now you're going to sell the condos. If you can't condo them out, you're going to sell the duplex, which is appreciated. It's going to make you something, make 50, 100, I don't know. But with condos, whatever that is, you're going to make another $100,000 over the top. So you're making $200,000, if not more, on this deal over 5 years. You got your single family after 2 years. It wasn't a big sacrifice, right? Now, if you want to do this again, sell your single family and buy a duplex and do it all over again, right? Now, I know you're not putting pictures on the wall. There's no settling down. That's a stretch. I get it. But at least reward yourself for the first home that you buy. You buy a multifamily and create some money, right? It's tough creating this much money. It's hard. It's really tough creating $200,000 in 5 years working jobs and having a house payment and so forth. Having that passive income and something to sell within 5 years is huge, right? So that's my advice. I get it's not right for everybody. I understand that. But I want to put it out there. If you want to choose wealth over comfort and make a couple $100,000 in your first 5 years, set yourself up for living in your single family comfortably without worrying about your mortgage payment, because you've had that money, you paid it down, you're comfortable. You're not worried every month where that payment's going to come from. So anyway, that's just my take on it. I do it all the time. I build a house, I move into it. 2 years later, I sell it for that tax exemption. That's just what I've done for years. I own a bunch of multifamilies. I can tell you my rule, the golden rule when it comes to buying an investment property, is if you can't live there, meaning when you walk in, you can say, oh, I'm not living here. Don't buy it, because that's the test. If you walk in and say, well, this isn't so bad, I can live here, buy it. But I guarantee you, if you can't live there, the tenant's not going to pay you rent. It's just a dump. So use that. Don't buy an inferior property because of price. The numbers might look better, but they're not going to pay you. So buy quality. Always buy quality when it comes to multifamily buildings, and you'll be just fine. You'll love it. Put them into condos, make some money. Life is good. So good luck to you on this one, and keep smiling.